Hey guys, I'm going to share some of my favorite lower carb snacks with you. Everything should be under 15 grams of carbs per serving. I am not a nutritionist or a doctor or anybody giving you any kind of medical advice. These are just things that I like how they taste and under 15 grams of carbs. Um, Pretty much also the other uh, thing is that they're all things that are kind of good for taking with you. You don't have to prepare any of this. These are all just ready to go snacks and a couple drinks too. So I'll start with, there's a lot of yogurts, but I'll put that at the end. I'll start with kind of my favorite bars. This one is Costco version nut bar with chocolate. There's 30 in the pack. I think it was about $15 or $16 for the pack, so really good price. And individually wrapped, really tasty, 14 grams of carbs. Then I also like Trader Joe's has their own version. They're Simply Nutty bars, and these ones are dark chocolate and sea salt. These ones are also 14 grams, five of them I think for $5. Pretty tasty. I'd say they have a little bit more chocolate on them than the Costco ones. So if you like chocolate, it really kind of gives that chocolatey flavor. Another one that I like are the Kind bars, and they also have a chocolate sea salt kind of thing, but then they have some other ones. This is my favorite. It's the maple glazed pecan and sea salt, and this one's 13 grams of carbs. Their other flavors have, I would say, between 13 and 17 grams. Just depends on the flavor, but you have to check because there's a couple versions they have that have a lot more. Um, Another one that I'm almost on the fence to share this one. These are the Power Crunch bars. I think they taste really good, and they all pretty much have about 10 grams of carbs. The only thing I don't like is that they use stevia, so if you're not into fake sweeteners and that kind of stuff, this one does use that. But higher in the protein, kind of tastes like your typical chocolatey protein bar. Another one that was kind of interesting that I found, this one I got at Trader Joe's. I don't know where else they sell it. It's an Epic bar. So you can see I already ate it. But it's made of bison and cranberry, and it was 10 grams. Um, and that was kind of an interesting alternative. It was a little bit pricey. I think it was something like 250 um, for the single bar, so it is a little bit more, but I guess you are getting bison meat. So that's kind of the categories of the bars. Another thing I like as far as kind of a snack drink, I really like these raw chocolate drinks. This is the Bold Original. So this one only has 7 grams. It does use monk fruit sweetener, which I've had some people say that they don't like the taste of that. Um, I don't really taste it and I don't mind it. And at least from what I read, it's possibly supposed to increase your insulin sensitivity. So I don't know if that might affect affect you if you're, taking insulin and all of that. But I haven't noticed any effect, and it's only 7 grams. I think it's really tasty. You have to shake it really well. It gets very thick. And then it also comes in, I don't have them here, but it also comes in a couple other flavors, semi-sweet chocolate, mocha, coconut, and mint. And those are all 13 grams of carbs. So still pretty low, and those ones don't use the monk fruit extract. So those ones are also really good kind of snack drinks. They taste really good. It's pretty much the lowest carb that I found. And then this one is kind of a little bit of a cheat. I really like these forager ones. This is nuts and coffee. It also comes in nuts and vanilla and nuts and chocolate. The nuts and vanilla is a little bit higher. So the thing that's a little bit tricky is that it says it's 11 grams of carbs per serving, but there's 1.5 servings per bottle. So that's kind of a little bit tricky of them. It is the same size. They're both 12 ounces, and this one's 1.5, and this one's 1 serving. The reason why I kind of decided to let it go is that I think they're really filling. So for me, that's kind of almost like not like meal replacement, but I feel like it fills me up a lot. So it's a really good uh, thing to take with me. So it's kind of a cheat. It's like 16.5 grams of carbs, but it's pretty tasty. So I really like these forager ones. I think the vanilla is the same. The chocolate is the same. The vanilla is a little bit higher. That's, I think, 13 grams per serving. Um, and then, well, before I go into my dairy, I'll give you a couple other drinks here. So I really like these Spindrift sodas. I also get these at Trader Joe's. The lemon has 0 grams of carbs, so it's just kind of like, typical lemon soda. But they have some interesting flavors. This is my favorite. It's the raspberry lime. It has 2 grams of carbs. There's also a grapefruit, which is pretty tasty too. I think it's also 2 grams. Another thing I like too are these chia pods. These are really tasty. This one is the vanilla bean. I think it also comes coconut and maybe chocolate, something else like that. But it's 13 grams of carbs. What's really cool too, this is one of my favorite things, it comes with a spoon in there, so that's a really great snack to take with you because you have a spoon. It kind of has this like jello consistency. Like it's almost like, this is going to sound unappealing, but kind of like chunky jello. But I really like them. I think they're tasty. So that's another one I really like. And I think those are about, they had them on sale at Whole Foods recently. I think it was 2 for $6, so they're about, I think they're probably usually $3.50 each, so maybe a little bit pricier. Another thing I like too is these Justin's packs, because you can take them with you. They come in individual little packets. I don't really like peanut butter, but I like almond butter. It's good. I put it on bananas sometimes, and it's just 3 grams of carbs per packet, so it's kind of good for eating with fruit or just taking with you. Now kind of into the dairy section here. Also, one thing I really like is, I don't know how to say this, kefir? I don't know if I'm saying, I don't think I'm saying that right. This is probably my favorite one, this Green Valley Organics, because it has a really thick texture. It's 12 grams of carbs per serving, which is a cup. And so it almost tastes like a smoothie. One thing that I even do too is I will take my instant coffee from Trader Joe's here or wherever, and I'll mix it in and make a coffee smoothie. So that one's probably my favorite, this one, the Green Valley Organics. Then my second favorite, I would say, is the Wallaby Organic. And by the way, these are both the whole milk versions. This one's whole milk, this one's whole milk. I think the Wallaby one, it's not quite as thick, but it has a smoother taste. With the Green Valley, there's just like that tiny bit of almost that kind of acidic taste, but the Wallaby one I'd say is a little bit smoother. This one's 11 grams of carbs per serving, but I do like the thicker texture of the Green Valley Organics. And then now kind of going into the yogurt, probably my favorite thing, which I'm probably a little bit obsessed with, are Siggi's. I found them at Starbucks, but the ones at Starbucks are the 0%, which so I don't use that one. The ones that I eat are all the ones with more fat. They even come up to triple fat. So this is their plain 4% one, and what's really crazy about this, it has an insane amount of protein. So for a 1 cup serving, you've got 11 grams of carbs, and then you've got 25 grams of protein and 9 grams of fat, and it tastes really good. And it's got that really creamy flavor, so I like that. And then they also have like a whole bunch of like millions of flavors, so I'll just show you a couple that I just happen to have. So they come in 0%, which I don't get, but they get 2%, 4%, and then the triple cream, which is 9%. So the 2% ones come in 5.3 ounce containers like this. The 4% ones come in these kind of flatter 4.4 ounce containers, and then the triple cream, which is 9%, comes in these 4 ounce containers. So just to give you an idea, this one that's 2%, the ones with lower fat tend to have higher carbs. So this 2% has 15 grams of carbs. although the container is a little bit bigger. It's 5.3 ounces. The 4%, these have like between 10 and 12 grams of carbs, I'd say, or maybe this one's 11, this one's 12, something like that. And then with the triple cream, that one is only 10 grams of carbs, but it is only 4 ounces. But another little tip, what I like to do is with the triple cream, I put them in the freezer and then let it get fully frozen. Then I'll take off the top, put it in the microwave for about 10 seconds on 50% power, 10 or I think sometimes 20 seconds. And then it's kind of like a little frozen treat. So that's probably one of my favorites. I love the Siggies. You can get them at Whole Foods. Usually at Ralph's and places like that, they don't have they might have the 2%, maybe 4%, but definitely not the triple cream. Usually you can go to Whole Foods, or I've seen them at Bristol Farms, those kinds of specialty stores. I think I saw that Sprouts should have them too. Moving on into some more yogurt. I also really like this Trader Joe's Greek plain whole milk yogurt, and that one has 12 grams of carbs per serving. See if you compare that to the Siggies, it's only 8 grams of protein and 22 grams of fat. But this one is really, really smooth. It's almost like dessert to me. That's kind of like a dessert yogurt. It's really tasty. So yeah, that's probably one of my favorites, just plain Greek yogurt from Trader Joe's. And then something I discovered that's maybe kind of a little bit weird sounding, but I like it. Sheep milk and goat milk yogurt. So I've had this sheep milk yogurt. This is Bellwether Farms. It has only 8 grams of carbs per cup serving, so that's pretty low. 13 grams of protein and 12 grams of fat. So it does have kind of a earthy flavor to it when you first try it. So that might be something that might turn some people off, but I would say probably like the first couple bites you notice it, but then it kind of goes away. It's pretty good. And then also another one too, this is another Trader Joe's goat milk yogurt. And by the way, these are both whole milk as well. So this one's only 7 grams of carbs, less protein, 7 grams of protein, but only 4.5 grams of fat. So that's another one. Same thing, the first couple bites, it kind of has an earthy flavor. But once you take a few bites, it's actually pretty tasty. So anyway, so those are some of my favorite things. They are not low calorie. These are not meant to be low calorie options. Just if you have to count carbs or you're trying to keep your carbs limited, I think these are some very tasty options that I end up eating. I feel like I've tried a lot, and these are some of my favorite finds. So I hope you like them. If you have any questions about where to get them, usually you can just Google the names, and usually it'll tell you where you can find it. But most of the stuff is like Whole Foods or Trader Joe's or Sprouts or any places like that. So I hope you liked it. Hopefully you found something new to try, and maybe I'll do another one when I have some more suggestions for you guys. So that was it. I hope you liked it.